ignorant shit I've said so far, but I am a changed person, believe it or not. I am. I had an experience earlier this year. This is all true. No, you don't think so? Some guy just yelled bullshit. Are you saying bullshit, sir, because you don't believe me or because you don't want me to leave? Is that what it is? The little angry circle that you're in? Don't be going to getting happy now. Don't be going getting soft on me. Don't start hugging people and loving yourself and crying when you see something cute. Hang on to it. Lash out at people. Reach for your pistol under the seat. Do it. No, I took mushrooms back in February. For the first time ever. No. This is the perfect state to tell this story. You guys should literally have mushrooms on your fucking license plate. All right, so here's the deal. I never fucked with anything like that. I was always a booze guy. I was a booze guy, you know. All right, relax, everybody. I always get nervous when I get white guys going like, yeah, all right, woo, all right, build the wall. I'm fucking around. Relax. It's frightening to listen to, but that's what being a guy is. You're not allowed to have emotions. So that's all of that shit comes out when you drink. Do something dumb so I don't feel stupid. So, yeah, I was always like a booze guy, so like I never fucked with like psychedelics or whatever. So I figured, it was just one of those deals. I was out in the desert, man, and I was like, all right, I got somebody watching my kids. Everything's fine. I'm in my 50s. I got to do it now, or I'm never gonna do it, right? So this person, who may or may not have been my opening act tonight, goes, all right, man. He's a good man. He's a good man. He says to me, he goes, all right. He goes, okay, just take like, it's always just like, all right. So, like, how fucked up do you want to get, all right? There's always like a square, and it's like, okay, don't eat the whole square. Just like bite one corner, lick the other one, and then rub the other one and let it absorb in your face or whatever. So I'm like, all right. He goes, how far into it do you want to go? I go, I just want to trip a little bit, nothing fucking crazy. So he goes, fine. So I ate just a little bit. So I get a little nauseous or whatever. At first it feels like I ate some weed, but then all of a sudden, like I notice shit that's not alive, looks like it's breathing, right? Like the refrigerator, looked like it just did a lap around the house. It's kind of... Nothing threatening, It's just like, it needed it, TV started getting bigger. It's looking like it's going to fall on me, all right? And I was doing fine. I was fine. I was like, I know that TV's not getting bigger. And if it is, I don't give a shit. Go ahead. Spill that pixelation all over me. I don't give a fuck. I know I'm tripping. I'm having fun. I'm giggling. I'm laughing at shit. I'm putting things together, right? And everything is fucking great. And all of a sudden, about an hour in, all of a sudden, this profound sense of loneliness and not feeling loved just washed over me. Yeah, and I was just like, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. This is why I didn't do it. I knew I had too many demons. I knew I wasn't going to see God and fucking unicorns and slide down the rainbow and roll around in the grass. I fucking knew Satan was coming up. There was going to be a guy with a knife and shit. I was just like, all right, go ahead. Drag me into the abyss. Let me see how fucked up I am. And this feeling, it just enveloped me. And I don't even know how to describe it. It wasn't even a feeling. It just was. It just was. So I'm freaking the fuck. I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck? I can't get out of it, dude. Like, I could walk 100 fucking million miles. I can't walk out of it. It just was. So I didn't want everybody else is like tripping. I don't want to fucking ruin their trip. So I'm just like, all right, dude, I'm just going to go to the bedroom, and look at the refrigerator. I'm just doing a little nod. Just playing it off, right? Going into the fucking bedroom, and I'm just laying down in the bedroom like, dude, what the fuck? What the fuck? And every time I thought I felt the bottom, it would just further into the bed, further into the bed, further into the bed. So about a half hour later, my wife comes in, She's like, hey, how you doing? Typical guy. Great. I'm doing great. Doing great. It's going great. So she's laying next to me. I'm feeling a little nauseous. This is a little bit much for me. And she's just laying down. And I'm just feeling this feeling. Not feeling loved. Profound sense of loneliness. So now I'm just looking at my wife. And my brain just starts going like, oh, fuck, did I marry the wrong person? Why am I looking at... I know that seems fucked up, but once you're married long enough, even not on mushrooms, you have that thought every fucking 6 weeks. You just do. Something happens where you just look at the side of their head and just do the math and just think, why did I ever talk to you? I could have just walked by. I didn't have to say hello. We had no relationship. We were nothing. Why did I ever talk? What would happen if I just never talked to you? Every 6 weeks, you think that's a healthy relationship. That means you still held on to a part of yourself. That even though you love this person, you still want to fucking run around like a Mustang a little bit, right? So anyways, I'm like, okay, I was like, dude, I was freaking me out even more to think of my wife and be feeling that. So I was like, fuck, I need to pull the ripcord. I gotta get out of this. Fucking, it's like a giant beanbag. I couldn't get out of it, right? So I was like, oh, fuck. Think about your kids. Now, my kids, I love my kids. And I know they love me. There is no fucking question. And I start thinking about my kids. And I still felt that feeling. And I was like, all right, what the fuck is this? Because I know that's bullshit. And I just sort of laid there. And I relaxed. And I went, oh, fuck. I know what this is. This is how I felt growing up. Yeah. This is what the 70s and 80s were like. Both your parents worked. You got a set of keys to the house when you were 3. Ah, get outside. Get the fuck out of my face, right? It was fucking nuts. Yeah, I grew up in a very, angry time. You were afraid of your dad's dad. I talked about this shit before, but I'm still working through it, so just bear with me. You just were fucking, I love seeing kids nowadays loving their dad. Like, Dad, what's Dad? You want to go play, Dad? Let's go ride bikes, Dad!
Bill, how are you?
What's going on? Oh, thank you. Thank you, all 7 of you. And the 4 Kevin Harts.
Yeah.
Is he in the black section of the crowd? That's what it seems like. They've moved up to the middle. Progress. I like it.
There you are. Look at Billy.
How are you?
You look like a fucking prize.
My stupid headphones to work here. Something that'll work. Let me see if these ones will work. Hold on a second.
No, they work good.
My headphones aren't working for me, though.
Oh, okay.
It's about me, Nick. It's not about you here. Here we go.
All right. So
Yes, I am.
second season.
The deepest couch in sports entertainment.
A lot of people think that they're uncomfortable with my elevation. Are you uncomfortable with it?
No, I just see all of your insecurities.
A giant desk.
And then also, you can't tell other people's kids not to do stuff.
Right.
So you got to kind of be loudly like, hey, he's climbing up on the utility pole, and kind of hope that somebody does something. Well, back in the day, you could yell at people's kids, and I think that needs to come back, and that's what's holding back this country.
Yeah. Yell at other people's kids.
So
This is very we're very
You wouldn't know that we like each other. Let's try to tone it down.
No, I'm not. I'm just. No,
I know what happened. You came right at me just saying my theory stunk. I'm just here to promote a cartoon. I'm a dancing monkey today. I'm trying to be a good guy. I want people to like me and watch the show here, and you're coming at me. I don't know anything about hoop. I'm a 5'10" 10-inch white guy.
This dude is knocking it out of the park. He's one of my favorites. Here is Bill Burr. Look at you.
How are you?
Oh, it's
I
good.
love that you did the audience applause for everybody. Yeah, there he is. Come on. Keep it going for him.
You know, I shouldn't have to wear a mask. I don't want to wear a mask. I don't buy it. And then there are people that.
I love those people.
What?
Yeah,
you like the people that flip out?
Yeah, don't wear it.
Yeah.
Don't wear it. Go kill yourself. It's awesome. Because I have to be honest with you, I know a lot of people died from COVID, but I'm starting to see the traffic come back, and I selfishly thought I wish it killed a few more.
I've always kind of been slightly dubious of a comedy competition, though.
You don't have any confidence.
Yeah.
You can't get up there and just do your dick jokes better than other people.
No, I can't. I feel like it's not the right way to go about it.
All you have to do is be louder than someone else.
Oh, I can do
and
that.
Flap your hands around. You're guaranteed to make the finals. I built a whole career on that.
At some point, I was going to make a point here. That's why I keep looking at here, and I just realized I'm blocking myself out of the camera. I love that you have the jib camera for this, like it's an action movie. Let's swoop in at these two guys sitting in these unbelievably small chairs. I literally feel like I'm going to fall onto the floor. This is insane. You really went all out with the audience, though. They got full-size adult chairs. Are these like from the 20s before they had like horse tranquilizers in our food? When everybody was like 5'1"? Yeah, I fly a lot, and there's this whole new thing of generation of people that take their socks and their shoes off on the plane. You got to look at their smelly feet, and then they'll literally stand up and they will walk into a commercial airline bathroom. Yeah, use it and then walk and sit back down again.
That's not right.
Yeah, if I was a dictator, those people would be eliminated.
A lot coming from the Hillary Clinton camp that Trump is bad for children. And they had a lot of ads that said, you know, children are watching this guy.
Oh, we all know
talk.
that children 5 and 6 years old are always tuning into the debates. Taking notes. That's what I did when I was a kid. I'll never forget that.
I'm just going to tell you how I discovered you.
I do owe my whole career to you. I was struggling until Bobby Lee discovered me.
Oh, no, not discover you in terms of like, you did it on your own, obviously, but no, in terms of my awareness of you.
Oh.
Can I tell you that story?
Oh, no, I remember it was a big day in my career. Bobby Lee is finally aware of me. Am I on Bobby Lee's radar?
See, this is what he's going to...
This is when things start to happen.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
Yeah. I'm just going to plug away. You know what I mean?
Listen, you can talk to him all you want. I can hear it.
So are you in the process?
I cannot get comfortable in this fucking chair. This is just like one of the worst things. This should be like in a museum, is like the prototype. This is what... This was the awful level of comfort. We went from a log to this, and then eventually they got cushions. There's another guy looking at his phone. I swear to God. Dude, the day Jesus comes back, if he ever does, if he's even a real person, like 90% of people are going to miss it. They're going to walk right. He's going to be walking on water, and they're immediately walking by him. They're not even going to see it. Long story short, Hugh Jackman plays the part of Gary Hart, and he was amazing. And I had a really fun scene where we were tailing him. We were chasing him down this alley. And he's like the nicest guy ever, but he's a big guy. He's like 6'4", and he's ripped. And we went down the alley, and his character's mad at our character, and he just turned around and looked at us. And for half a second, I was like, oh, that's Wolverine. And I legit got scared. And he's a big guy, you know? So... What's funny in this scene is as the reporter, I have like a notebook, and I dropped it. And after the screening, we went to the Toronto Film Festival, and all these actors are coming up to me. I love the choice you made. I love the choice you made to drop the notebook. I go, no, dude, that was real. I was like, like there's a danger to buying that car. That big yellow, they see that big yellow prancing pony, and they just come out. They come up out of the manhole covers. All these gold diggers, like a zombie movie.
And that is a gold digger magnet. And they are so good at it, they can look and tell if it's rented or not. They know where to look for the sticker. I don't know how to do that. Oh, there we go. No, but now this is like the ego one. Now I'm going to be sitting above you.
Yeah,
you got to
no,
come
man.
with two. It's fine. It's fine. Sir, the one comedy through line that's working here is me shitting on this chair. Why would you take that from me? You're just totally going against the grain. I understand it. But you got on camera, so I think you get paid, even though this is online. Guys, every time I go into a store and I see something, they go, can we get a phone number? Watching somebody give them the phone number. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
I always give the same. Mine is all area codes. They go, what's your phone number? I'm like, 323-818-212-5.
We've never taken a break in the middle of a guest.
I know, I had all this momentum going. Now I got to start all over again. Go ahead. Go to the card. See this? We won game one. Here comes the second of the doubleheader.
Is that a Rolex?
Yes, it is. I finally bought one. 25 years in this business.
Is it white gold or stainless?
I don't know what it is.
Is it heavy?
No.
Then it's stainless.
Oh, is that what it is? Well, thank you. Thank you for taking my watch down a notch. I finally felt successful. You see this? You wouldn't say that if I had brown or black hair. Guarantee you. Blonde hair, you'd be over here giving me your watch.
You really are the whitest person I've ever seen around.
Yes. Served me well. I've never worked for anything. Yeah, I was born on a yacht. It's just all been downhill.
I don't even mean it in. I don't mean it in a genetic way. I mean like.
I do. I'm talking full-on white privilege. I was stunned when I first heard about white privilege. I had no idea what it was. I was like, hey, everybody doesn't get to do this.
It seems as if the sun
Pulling
has
up
never
to job
touched you.
interviews right as I get out of the car. You're hired. Go home. We'll see you tomorrow.
Being a mother is the hardest job out there.
Most difficult job, and Oprah said that.
Oprah said that, yeah.
Yeah.
Has your opinion on that phrase changed at all since you've had a kid?
No. It's not the most difficult job on the planet. It just isn't. Dude, I did roofing in July. As a redhead, I almost died. There's people that work on like oil. What was that movie that guy made? The fucking, they
There Will Be
drill
Blood?
oil. What is it?
There Will Be Blood?
There Will Be Blood. The out in the ocean, they would drill. I can never remember the names.
Deepwater.
Mark Wahlberg
Yeah,
was in it.
Deepwater Horizon, yeah.
Those guys were working on an oil rig. The fucking thing blows up. They're on fire. They got to jump into water that's on fire. Salty water into their wounds. You got to swim out of that oil and fire and then tread water, praying to God that the Coast Guard is going to get there before the sharks do. Now talk to me about a toddler. Oh, he was so fussy today. He wouldn't eat his peas. Yeah, and just the level of reward that is, as annoying as a kid is, like they smile at you and it's over. It's over. So, I mean, you don't get that, working on an oil rig when your buddy's greasy face lights up. You're like, you know what? It really is all worth it. I love the racist white guy thing. A bunch of racist white guys. They came out of the forest and they were just going, Trump, Trump, Trump. It's like, where were all these racist white guys the last two elections when they could have voted against a black guy? They were fine. Oh, I don't mind the black guy, but this white lady, we got to stop her. She's going to take her four-wheeler.
So your Christian background is part of the show. Or at
Yes,
least
and I
two
wanted
episodes.
to talk to you about Jesus after this.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is some people thought maybe you went a little too far.
As far as what?
Well, they thought that maybe you were being disrespectful to the Christian religion.
Who did?
I'm telling you, you need to Google.
Oh, good Lord.
So did you feel you were
probably
being disrespectful, or just you were just having fun with some of the crucifixes and stuff like that?
I don't even know I mean, we did maybe two jokes about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far? More so than my cartoon.
All right, listen.
A couple of jokes. I know this is a morning show. You can't bring up all those crimes.
You know what? Technically,
well, they just sort of kept moving them around. Like those killer whales at SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
All right, I'm not totally following, but I don't think
You
I
know
want
what
to.
I'm talking about. It's a morning show. I understand.
I like it. Thank you
I
for being
came on.
positive.
That kid was
Positive.
missed the graduation, and then it was a feel-good story.
It was a feel good, and we want to leave.
If you want to feel good about America, you watch the morning shows. You don't watch this, you know.
And
we were
watch-
joking earlier. If that kid's story about the graduation was late night, that would have been a whole different story.
What do you think?
He's still missing. We can't find him. All we found was his hat. But you watch in the morning. It's great. It all worked out. He got his own personal graduation. Like, I was in such a great mood. Look how yellow this couch is. It's like the sun.
But what did you say about the military that got people so mad? Or this one guy so
I was
mad?
just saying, like, yeah, the guy who flies the fighter jet, okay, and has missile shot at him, that guy's a hero. However, if you're the guy that, like, points in the direction that the plane takes off in, you know what I mean?
Hey, this is Southside Steve, and this is Southside Steve TV, and this is Bill Burr.
That's your question?
I'm just saying who you are.
Oh, yeah, all right. I don't like you creep me out with that big microphone and that country western shirt.
Oh, no, this isn't country western. It's like, it's hip now to wear this.
okay.
This is my nightclub look. Yeah, come
Okay.
on.
All right. This is. I guess this is the internet, right? You just sort of just throw it out there.
I just throw it out there. I figure you're a funny guy.
Well,
and
yeah, throw it out there. I'll throw it out there too.
Well, here's the deal. Bill's a comedian. He's at the Punchline. He's in town, and you're a funny guy. You've got these routines in your head, so I figure I'll toss you a mic and you go.
And I'm going to do stand up in front of 9 people in a radio station? No, I'm not doing that.
Well, you're taking the fun out of Southside Steve TV.
I'll take. How about I give you $5 and I want to watch you line dance and I'm a racist cowboy.
You just had the baby, right?
Yeah, little Friday morning. Friday morning. I did. My wife did. I didn't do anything. I felt unbelievably useless. I was in total panic mode. When I dropped her off at the emergency room, she goes, "All right, you got to go park the car down in the spot." And I swear to God, I was in such fight or flight. I was driving down there. This voice in my head just said, "Just keep going. Just keep going. Just drive away." Which of course I wouldn't, but I started laughing. Isn't there like a Bruce Springsteen song about that? Going out to get cigarettes and there's something hilarious about people abandoning their family where, like, I just can't imagine, like, the hell that you would be in to do that move. But just knowing you were going to do it, like the level of excitement that you would have before, like, okay, I'm going to go get some cigarettes. And I'm never going to see you people again, your mother-in-law. All of this stuff is over. You never saw Weird Science, how creepy these nerds are? All these cameras on your phone, all of that. The people go on Ancestry.com. Why would you send your saliva into the internet? Why would you do that? Why don't you just go to the Illuminati and help them build your robot replacement?
But do you like my mic?
No, I don't. I don't. Please.
Is that comfortable? Is this uncomfortable?
No, don't, man. Honestly. Can I take the mic?
Sure.
Now, that's the number one thing you don't do. As I learned that in broadcasting school, you never give up the microphone. See, now I have the power. This Bob Barker thing.
Yeah.
You're what is this? Rock 100.5.
Mm-hmm.
This is the worst interview I've ever done. And he's wearing Stetson cologne or something. It's just really overpowering.
How you doing?
You know what he looks like? He looks like the first guy who gets his ass kicked in a Steven Seagal movie.
No.
The background guy behind the big kingpin. Why don't you handle this? Conspiracy theory has gotten a bad name where now it's become synonymous with like moronic thought. Like if you're into conspiracy theory, if you think like the bankers need to be stopped, then you also think the moon is made out of cheese, and you think that there's shifters and like lizard people. You know, they just try to knock it down. It's like this country started with a conspiracy. That's how it came. We won, so they're considered heroes and rebels, you know, or whatever, revolutionaries. But if they lost, they would be hanged for conspiring. Yeah. It's not like it spontaneously happened.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden everybody just picked up a gun and started shooting at the British. You know, they sat around.
They planned it out.
They planned it out.
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting tired of these people.
It's funny, when you said we won, I'm like, did we really win? But I understand what you're saying. Now,
is that African-American thing?
Yeah.
You're whatever incognito. You're an enigma.
What, because I make a pie? No, you know what it is? You're not a good listener. You've known me for 10 years. You have no idea who I am. It's all about comedy with you and moving up the ladder and pushing people.
Now, are you getting out of an existing house and
No, I'm going from a one-bedroom apartment, and I figured I'd finally go out and buy a damn house and not have to deal with, some jerk living above me or below me.
All right.
Yeah. Do my own little thing. Get my little 12 gauge, get a bunch of cans of tuna, get ready for the apocalypse. That's what I want to do.
But is that, were you funnier, or was it just you enjoyed the difficulty more? I mean, I don't know if it makes you funnier because it's a harder show to do, or it's more.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't either. But I will say that what I liked about it was that just that those years where you just like, so much of your stand-up career is just one impossible situation after another. And you're just standing there trying to do the math. Like, how the fuck am I going to get these people? We don't have a microphone. Is that going to be a problem?
Can you do 10 minutes while the band changes?
Yeah.
No, I can't. They're just going to take the instruments off and on the stage. No, that's not how it
and
works.
as you're doing it, they're coming in there tuning up. Done gigs in hallways.
Yeah.
Hallways, areas that met in a hallway, cafeterias at like 1 in the afternoon.
Sure.
The college kids have no idea there's going to be a show. And they just go, we have a comedian. His name's Bill Burr. Here he is. And then you just walk up there and have to do an hour.
Sure.
Just an hour
I know.
of humiliation. I would always say to myself, in an hour and 1 minute, this is going to be over. And I'm going to be in my car driving away. And that's what I would do. And the part that I hated was the waiting to go on.
Yeah, I still do.
Once you go on, it's the hourglass has been turned over.
Yeah.
The sand's starting to fall. And every second you're up there, whatever hit you take, that's one less one you got to take.
Yeah,
and
it's true.
I used to always call it my college agent afterwards, flipping out, going, I'm fucking done with these things. I'm never fucking doing this again. I don't give a shit. He'd be like, all right. And then he knew I needed the money. And then he'd call me up and he'd be like, Billy, Scott Bass. That was my agent. Scott Bass calling. I know you said you're not going to do this, but I do have a nooner. I'm going to build around it. And, by then I'd be at home. And I cooled off. It was a couple weeks later from being on the road, and the rent was coming. I needed the money. And he would be like, all right, it's going to pay $700. It's like the middle of Iowa for $700, all inclusive.
It's been a tough week here, for obvious reasons. We lost Norm Macdonald this week, which was just, I had no idea that he was even sick. And he's a guy that I knew a little bit. I was definitely friendly with him. If we saw each other, we said hello and we shot the shit, but it wasn't like someone that I talked to on the phone or anything. And I was such a huge fan of his, and I would just always end up running into him. And he just always had that smile on his face. Like, as you talk to him, he would have that smile. Just a really great, warm guy. And I remember, I was trying to think what Norm's story to tell you. This one isn't necessarily funny. It was just sort of random. I went out to go see Bill Cosby in concert right before all the bullshit happened out in Pasadena. And he played this theater out there, which interestingly enough was where they had the 25th anniversary of Motown celebration, which is the first place Michael Jackson publicly did the moonwalk. I saw Bill Cosby at that theater. And I remember they had it all set up where, they almost built him like a little living room. He had like an Archie Bunker type chair, a little square rug, and then like a side table where he put his water. And he just came walking out, and there was the mic. There was no mic stand. It was just sitting on the chair. And he just came out. You know how he kind of walked a little bent over? Came walking out, waved to everybody, sat down, picked up the mic, and for like almost 2 hours, just, hour and a half, just killed. Just fucking killed. Had the crowd in the palm of his hand. Masterclass of stand-up, right? So I leave with my lovely wife, and I go out front, and who's standing there is Norm Macdonald. He was like, hey, Bill, hey, how you doing? I talked. It was like, no, what's going on? I was so psyched that he knew my name and all of that stuff, and I think I had met him before. And then we just stood there talking about comedy and how amazing it was to see Bill Cosby and how good he still was. Like I said, this was before all the bullshit happened. And my admiration for the guys, it went even higher. That I understood why I was there, but I thought Norm was so good that he didn't need to be there. And he was still there, still
trying to learn and everything. And I was thinking like, wow, this is why this guy is so fucking amazing. And, you know, he's just was somebody that you couldn't just watch one video of him. Like, you know, I was saying to Verzi how like guys like Ric Flair, Norm Macdonald, there's a few people, if you click on their videos, it's like say goodbye to the next 2 hours of your life, because everything that they did is so interesting and so different and so funny. And one of my favorite Norm Macdonald things that he ever did, you know, because so many people like pretend that they don't give a fuck, you know, both in my business and in other businesses. You got I don't give a fuck. Hey, you know me, I don't give a fuck. You know, those people that advertise them. Like that guy clearly in the best way didn't give a fuck. He really cared about people and stuff, but like he did what he wanted to do. And when he was on SNL, how big a gig that was, because there was so few channels, the internet hadn't blown up yet. And even with basic cable and everything, I mean, it was still, if you were on Saturday Night Live and you were doing Weekend Update, it was one of the most coveted gigs a comedian could have. And you were part of this lineage of, you know, at that point it was, you know, Chevy Chase, Jane Curtin, right on through to Dennis Miller's reign when he did it. And, you know, did Colin Quinn come after? I think Colin came after, but it was always just like the best of the best comics that they had doing it, and continued on with Tina Fey and all of them. And no one's walking away from that job. I mean, if some suit at NBC tells you they don't like the jokes you're doing and be funnier, you know, you're shaking in your, I would be, I'd be like, oh, fuck, you know, I'm going to lose this big gig. I don't want to get fired. I don't want to piss these people off or whatever. I guess he was doing all those OJ jokes, and somebody, I forget how the story went. There was somebody there that knew OJ or something and was telling Norm to back off and move on to something else. So what does Norm do? He just doubles down and he just does even more OJ jokes, which is like, you know, the balls that took to do that. And he ended up losing the gig. He got fired. And people loved him and he was fucking hilarious, but he, you know, he didn't back down to the big fucking guy over there, and he ended up losing the gig. So, you know, as luck would have it, I think it was Dirty Work, came out like a year and a half later or so. So he has to promote it, and he's on the press thing. So Lauren has him back and has him host the show. And I remember he went out there, and his opening joke, he just comes out. And he was just like, yeah, something like this. Yeah, it's good to be back. You know, I actually got fired from this show about a year and a half ago because they said I wasn't funny. And now here I am. I'm hosting the show. So that means one of two things. Either I got a lot funnier, or this show sucks. And then he had that big shit-eating grin on his face, and he started laughing. And then he proceeded to do a bunch of OJ jokes. And it was just like that fucking thing about him. And the whole time, I just felt the whole time when people were fucking with him or whatever and trying to take what he had, he always just still had that smile on his face, and he just still did exactly what he wanted to do. And I have so much respect for him. And I feel so fortunate that I got to see him live. So I remember, oh my God, I saw him right after 9/11. The Aspen after 9/11. Aspen Comedy Festival was this big fucking festival that was always a nightmare to get in and out of. Every year it would snow and people would get stuck in Denver, or you get snowed in, you couldn't get out. It was a fucking nightmare. And then as a comedian, you had to perform. It was like a mile higher than fucking Denver. and no one could breathe, and you're performing in front of all these super fucking rich people in front of industry, and you just go up and you would eat your fucking balls, and you're like, why did I come out here? And I remember I saw Joe Rogan do a full set that I still remember, and then I saw Norm Macdonald. It was at the same theater, and I remember Norm came out, and he was doing bits on racial profiling and all of this stuff. I'm not going to butcher the guy's bits, but I remember just watching that full set, and I was like, this guy is one of the greatest comedians I've ever seen in my life. And I thought that every time I saw him, and I don't know, it was a pleasure to know the guy, even on a little level. Just a massive, massive, massive loss to not have him around. And especially now with all of this stupid fucking cancel culture horseshit that is going on, which has way, way, way overstepped its bounds. As it always happens, no matter who's behind it, it always ends up, starting off with something that makes sense, and then that becomes the overreach, and then it just becomes like, hey, is it me, or did you literally become what the fuck you were trying to stop? And we, I don't know, as a comedian, really needed a guy like Norm out there to be eviscerating it and making fun of it and still doing what the fuck you want to do. So if there's any other young comics out there, if you want to see how it's done, watch that guy, because he was the real deal.
Then it occurred to me, I haven't gotten funnier. The show has gotten really bad. So yeah, I'm funny compared to, well, you'll see later.
I've been battling with my girlfriend a lot lately. She loves to watch the Oprah Winfrey Show, and I love to watch her watch the Oprah Show. And then I wait for Oprah to say something that I don't agree with, and then I take it out on my girlfriend because I'm a jerk. So Oprah brings out her first guest, right? She gives her this huge intro. She's written a book, she's been in a movie, and she does the most difficult job on the planet. She's a mother. So immediately I look at my girlfriend, I'm like, really? Being a mother is the most difficult job on the planet? How many moms died on ice road truckers last season? Any moms get washed overboard on Deadliest Catch? No, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but which job would you rather have? You want to scoop crabs up off the bottom of the ocean, hanging off some rusty tugboat, catching that trap to the back of your head every couple of weeks? Or you want to hang out in the sunshine with a couple of rugrats? You can send them to bed anytime you want on some trumped up charges. Yeah. Trumped up charges, yeah, because you want to have a drink and watch The Price is Right. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. No, maybe it is. Maybe it is the most difficult job. I mean, I thought roofing in the middle of July is a redhead. I thought that was a difficult job. But evidently, these mothers, they're bending over at the waist, putting DVDs into DVD players. I don't know how they do it. How do they do it? Oh, the way they push that stroller with the round wheels. Yeah, and the baby in there. It's the most difficult job on the planet. Going to war pinned down by a sniper. What a joke. It's a joke. You ever burp a baby and forget to put that towel up there? Oh, there's another shirt you gotta wash, right? Oh yeah, lift with your knees and put it in that machine that does it for you. people, any job you can do in your pajamas is not difficult. Sure, it's draining, but come on, man. Being a stay-at-home mom, that's like my dream job. No boss, no time card, no taxes. You're off the grid. Hanging out all day, making grilled cheese sandwiches. Giving a puppet show, you dress like a dragon. Then some other adult comes home and gives you money. Yeah.
You got to. There should be a high top bar here, like potato skins. It's very Applebee's going out of business. Yeah, you have like that. I don't know if it's me, but you're so happy. Sometimes it bothers me. Like I get actually anxiety around people as happy as you. It's like I can't hit the ball back, dude. I can't sustain you coming to the net with your happiness. I'm just like, this is over. It's gonna smash it right at me. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Can these people see us as they walk by?
I think it's tinted, but yeah, they can kind of.
That'd be weird. Huh? It's like on the Good Day show, you know.
Crouch a little so they can't see us?
Yeah, those sad people who show up to the Good Day show at like 5 in the morning, just stand there.
Signs?
Yeah. Hoping Ethel sees them.
Like from Kansas all the time, yeah. Bill, thanks so much for being here. I love this show. You're one of my favorite comedians. I'm excited to talk to you.
Well, I'm excited to be here. These chairs are horrific. This is designed for like, I don't know what age. It's not like 6 to 8, like when you're 11. This is like the perfect size. It's not quite adult size. It's not kid size. I already slouched. It's going to be a bad interview, dude, and I'm blaming the chair.
I slouch or go down like this or
All right.
Cross the legs. Bill, are you the head writer on the show, or how do you work in the writers' room on the show? Because you write your stand-up specials, you know, obviously you're a writer, but you've never really written on a sitcom before. If you go through your credits, you hadn't really been on a show before.
Why'd you have to bring that up? Just right out of the gate, he goes negative. Never really saw you write on anything before, Bill. There was all these other nice things on your IMDb page I could have brought up, but I noticed this one glaring thing that you've never done. And right out of the gate, was it because I made fun of the chairs? I'm sorry. No, I'm not the head writer. Mike Price, the great Mike Price. I have to say that he beats me in the writer's room. The great Mike Price from The Simpsons. He's the head guy, and I'm one of 10 in there, pitching jokes and that type of stuff. So, yeah, that's what I do in there.
Were you nervous?
I'll be sure to have that on my IMDb page for the next time.
No, I love the show, and I was wondering if you were nervous getting in there with a group of writers, since you've been sort of the lone writer of all of your work for so long.
Oh, no, by no means did I want to do this by myself. I mean, you need all of that help. Like, I had an idea to do something like this on my website, just do little 5-minute vignettes, because I used to tell family stories when I first started out doing stand-up, and everybody laughed when I was the young comic. And then as I became the older comic, you know, and the helicopter kids came in, and everything was labeled, and people wore helmets when they rode bicycles, and everything was considered bullying, those same stories didn't get laughs anymore. Everybody was sort of groaning like, oh, you know. I'd be like, no, this was funny. I deserve to get beaten for that. So that's when I decided, well, if I animate these things, and I'm a comedian, so I never did it because I have other jobs that I can do to make money. So it wasn't until I got with Mike Price, he turned it into a show. Vince Vaughn's company, too.
And what was your initial, so was this the idea that you initially had going into it, that it would look like this?
No, I had no idea what it was going to look like. This was like, I actually decided to do a cartoon because you can get away with more. And also, I did like those one-camera shoots, and those people work like 12, 14-hour days. There's hair, makeup, and wardrobe. So I thought I was being smart doing an animated show, thinking, oh, this will be easy. You know, they just do a little Flintstone shit, you know? I'll come in and say a couple of goofy things into a mic, and I'll go back out, you know, go see a movie or something. And it's not quite how it works. So this alone, just trying to come up with the look of it, which you wouldn't think, it took us we spent I felt like 6 weeks on noses and eyes, because you have to have everybody look. It's a weird thing, like animation.
Well, it sets up the world.
Yeah, but you have to come up with like your race of like animated people, you know? So like the Simpsons have the mustard yellow people with the giant eyes. The Simpsons have like the Pac-Man heads. So you got to kind of come up with your own thing that hasn't been done before. So I hope we did. We try to have like we wanted the 70s look the way most of my friends remember it. I mean, the way Hollywood does the 70s is everybody looked like Ron Burgundy or the Bee Gees or something. And that was, you know, that was a group of people. And everybody drove a Pacer, which they didn't. I remember when that car came out, me and my wife was like, that was the, me and my mother, what the hell's wrong with me? So that was the ugliest piece of shit I've ever seen. Sorry, I went out to a diner till like 4 a.m. last night. I got into an argument over music. This kid was trying to tell me that the Foo Fighters were better than the Beatles, and I just couldn't handle that.
Wait, what? Let's stick to this for a second, if you don't mind. Who the hell was arguing with you that the Foo Fighters are better than the Beatles?
He said he didn't like the Beatles because they didn't. When I listened to their music, he goes, it doesn't make me want to get on an elliptical. Like, this is how this guy judges music. Like, if it makes him want to work out. So, like, with that analogy, it's just like, hey, I don't like Mozart because it doesn't make me want to grab ankle weights. You know, I don't even, and like an idiot, I actually argued with this person. Like, they're that far down the boulevard. Like, I was going to bring them somewhere to where I was. And my eggs were getting cold, and I stayed in it. It was such a waste of time. It's just one of those days you wake up at like noon hating yourself. Like, I'm decades beyond having these things happen to me, and
How did you argue with that? If it started there, how did you argue about
upsetting other people. I vaguely remember saying to some guy there, like, because he was giving me shit for how loud I was being. I finally said to the guy, "Go, dude, who the fuck orders spaghetti at a diner?" And I didn't hear another word out of him, so I was proud of that.
The one person who's excited for the huge menu orders spaghetti. You know?
Yeah, at some point I was going to make a point here. That's why I keep looking at here, and I just realized I'm blocking myself out of the camera. I love that you have the jib camera for this, like it's an action movie. Let's swoop in at these two guys sitting in these unbelievably small chairs. I literally feel like I'm going to fall onto the floor. This is insane. You really went all out with the audience, though. They got full-size adult chairs. Are these like from the 20s before they had like horse tranquilizers in our food? When everybody was like 5'1"? Yeah. Wait a minute, do you own Fab TV?
Yes, how do you know that?
Because you're so friggin' dressed down. You just had that vibe. This is how CEOs, like, I knew it. I was just like, this guy's not.
And by the way,
dressed
I had to take my host out.
The cameramen are dressed better than you are. I knew it. I was just like, this guy's not a reporter. Didn't even know the name of the show. Wow.
Well, you know what? Take it as a call. I wanted an interview. I'm like, no, I got to be in with Bill Burr. You're one of my idols.
So were you supposed to interview me?
Okay, here.
Unbelievable. What is that all? There you go. Now it looks like an interview.
You know, Mr. Burr, you know, how does it feel?
Okay, I saw, these are the first 3 movies I saw. I saw For the Love of Benji.
Yeah.
And then we saw Scarface. She didn't know what it was. She knew it was like a gangster movie, but she thought it was like, you know, like Kojak or something. And if she wanted to leave then, I would have, but she didn't. She just is very reserved. She's just kind of like, maybe this will get better. Like, she just... Hey, how are you? What's going on? Nice to be here. I thought this was over by 7. I'm a stand-up comedian. I tell shit jokes around the country. It's what I do. And I got to be honest, like, I don't know much about writers. You know, I used to think you guys were a bunch of nerds who couldn't hold up your end of the conversation, you know, with strange shoes. I did. Yeah, but it was going to be yet another pilot that was going to fail. I'd just be sitting in a coffee house trying to talk to these writer, and it just would never connect, you know? So I always end up just staring at their shoes, but like, I don't know. I've always been like an idiot. And, no, I did. I used to think like a pony was a little horse. And there was these people down the street had this pony for like 7 years. And one day I said to my mother, I was like, when's that pony going to become a horse? So, I don't know. I didn't understand what you guys did. Like being in a writer's room. I never really understood like what a fucking hell it is. And the last 2 years of my life, I've spent it in there. And like, I've just never contemplated suicide more times in my life, you know? Every time you get that note, like, you know, I don't think we earned this moment. This isn't in our palette. Like, well, who do I root for? I just always just think, you know, there's always that sweet option. We're on like the 8th floor. I just think it. I think I could hit my car, you know, maybe land right in the driver's seat and be poetic. No, I do. Just sitting in a writer's room all day. I come home, I just stare at the wall. I can't hear my wife's voice. My drinking is off the rails. And I just want to say to all you guys, I really respect now what the hell it is you guys do, because it is, without a doubt, the toughest job out here. So thank you for writing shit for me to say.
I'm sick of Obama's wife. Yeah. This isn't some Republican rant either. It's just kind of first ladies in general. You know, I don't know what it is. All throughout my life, with each presidency, like these first ladies, they've just gotten more and more like chatty. You know? More and more chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Oh, okay, you just nodded there, lady. Let me ask you this, all right? Let's say you had a leak in your house, okay? You call a plumber up. He shows up, and he goes, yeah, I think the leak's coming from the upstairs bathroom. We need to shut it up, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden his wife walks in, who isn't a plumber. And then goes, hey, you know, I'm actually thinking it's coming from the outside. Wouldn't you be like, with all due respect, shut the up. I need a plumber in this moment. I'll extend an olive branch here. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. Which means at that moment, you're going to have the first male first lady, right? And when that happens, that dude needs to shut his trap. I don't want to hear a word out of him. I want to hear from the president. You, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? Now she's sitting there holding up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, it blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what am I going to do to get those girls back? Why don't you look across the dinner table? It's like, you see that guy? That is the leader of the free world. Tell him to pick up a phone, call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I going to do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand? Hey, Michelle said to bring him back. No, it's unreal. I'll tell you what kills me. Hillary Clinton might run. She might run. That blows my mind. I mean, she became a senator. She went from being the president's wife to being a senator. Just like that. Lateral move. That's like Tom Brady's wife becoming the next quarterback of the Rams. It's like, what, you hanging out? You just pick it up? I sucked at sports, and then I banged Tom Brady, and I don't know what happened. I just picked up a ball. I started lacing it. I'm leading receivers. It was incredible. I knew it was going to be like this. You know what's funny? There's actually people out there that think a woman being president is actually a good idea. You know? Can you believe that? See that they do? That'll do something. That'll change things. How? How the is that going to change anything? Do you know what the president makes a year? The president makes $400,000 a year. That's it. He's trying to keep billionaires in line, making $400,000 a year. That's all he makes. He makes less than some people blogging on the internet. The president should have you money, right? He shouldn't be sitting there with his pockets turned inside. I need your help to give me the job, right? What do you guys all donate to the campaign? Is that what it is? So I got a dog recently. That's a big thing in my life. I went down to the pound and I got a free dog. That's how I say it. I don't say I rescued a dog. All right, it's obnoxious and it's not true. Sick of people doing that. She's a rescue. Yeah, I rescued her. Really? Did you pull her out of a burning building? My girlfriend actually, to be honest with you, got the dog while I was traveling. I was in a different state. My girlfriend got us a dog. Classic female move, you know? That's just a 10 to 15 year commitment. Why would you include me in that decision?
Do this because I don't want to have a job. I just like being able to fuck. Like, you know what I love about this interview right now? There's zero preparation. I don't have to do shit. I was watching the fucking Jets-Miami game last night. I had a couple of beers, hanging out with my dog. I had a great fucking time. There was no like, oh, I got this big meeting tomorrow. I got to hit my PowerPoints, graph how comedy exists. There's none of that. I just show up. I might have been the worst comic in the history. Like, first of all, I would get on stage. I was so nervous. I'd take the mic out of the mic stand, and I would immediately just start pacing.
Like a panther.
And it had like a nervous panther who got declawed and defanged. Yeah. And I was just walking back and forth, and my movement had nothing to do with what I was talking about. I can't even believe I got any laughs. I would just be like, yeah, so I was growing up, and my dad was crazy, and it was just like, it was like that thing, you know, the old carnival game where you try to shoot the duck.
Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know, a lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That was insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear. Right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know? I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys! See you in 8 years. Where you going, Michael? Big, little, get on it! Right? And all these people slave away to make his vision come true. And then they have the big nerd fest, right? Down there, Comic-Con, and all their nerd mecca. They're all showing up with their Acne and their Hulk shirts, limping into the arena, right? Does Steve Jobs go out with a whole chorus line of scientists? No, he goes out there by himself. Sneakers and no belt, like it was no biggie, right? like he's Tesla. Tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad.
John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi. You think you're being healthy. You're eating your old rollerblades.
When did you start shaving your head? It looks good.
When did I start shaving? Well, I shaved it. I had my first special. I had it shaved.
Really? I didn't.
Yeah.
When I saw you in New York
I'm
for the
glad
Patrice
you
thing.
liked it. I see you
like
losing the roof there in the back.
Yeah,
You'll be
a
right there with
little
me.
bit. I'll be
We'll
there
do
soon.
we'll do a buddy cop show.
Exactly.
Right? Two balding old guys.
Exactly.
Going after some hairy criminal.
I'm not a big fan of Steve Jobs, personally.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I just don't understand what the big deal was with that guy.
I don't get it. He's like Edison. I don't know. He invented all this stuff that everybody. What are you talking about?
But did he? Did he sit down and like, I'm going to invent the iPhone and just sat there soldering, possibly welding, right? Didn't he have like a crew of guys helping him out?
Sure, maybe he did.
So why, when he went to those nerd fests, didn't he have like a chorus of scientists behind him who helped him out too? He walked out like he was Tesla. Like tapping into electricity.
I'm not with you.
I think he just kind of like told people what to invent. Like he just kind of came in like, I want my whole music collection in that phone. Get on it! And then all these nameless, faceless guys made it happen.
Yeah.
And then they have the big nerd concert and he goes out there by himself. No belt, sneakers on. I just didn't buy it.
When you took it out on Philly, because they were a bad crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Your famous rant, which you've since said you like Philadelphia, and that wasn't the issue. You were just giving...
People in Philly don't even remember. Basically, if you haven't seen it, I was doing a show for the Opie and Anthony radio program, and they had this show called The Traveling Virus, and we were doing these, like, 10,000 seaters, and we went to Philly, and they're notorious for booing people, and they booed the first guy off stage, and I went on, like, 3 hours after that. So by the time I got up there, it was a complete shit show. And... I don't know. They started booing, and I snapped and decided I wasn't going to leave, and I just attacked everything that they loved.
Can women be funny?
Yeah, of course. Will you guys just fucking grow up and just sit down and write your own horse shit and come up with it? Start your own fucking show. Have your own award show. Quit waiting around for other people to do shit for you. That's the fucking problem. If you guys had your own big club and I was standing outside of it, you'd never fucking let me in. I'd start my own shit. You guys got to start your own shit. You got brains in there, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So write your own shit and quit your fucking whining. We're all eating a giant shit sandwich out here. Nobody cares. I don't care. Well, when was the last time you went on stage and you killed so hard the person after you bombed? If you're fucking doing that on a regular basis, people are going to notice regardless of what you have between your legs. Yeah, at some point I was going to make a point here. That's why I keep looking at here, and I just realize I'm blocking myself out of the camera. I love that you have the jib camera for this like it's an action movie. Let's swoop in at these two guys sitting in these unbelievably small chairs. I literally feel like I'm going to fall onto the floor. This is insane. You really went all out with the audience, though. They got full-size adult chairs. Are these like from the 20s before they had like horse tranquilizers in our food? When everybody was like 5'1"? Yeah,
And nothing's making you mad? Nothing.
Oh, things upset me. Yes. I don't know. I don't want to... Look, I fly a lot, and there's this whole new thing of generation of people that take their socks and their shoes off on the plane. You got to look at their smelly feet, and then they'll literally stand up, and they will walk into a commercial airline bathroom. Yeah, use it, and then walk and sit back down again.
That's not right.
Yeah, if I was a dictator, those people would be eliminated. I love this dude texting for the entire interview. It's just trying to keep the attentions of millennials. It's like impossible. Look at him. He's already got the chains. He's probably got his own record label. He's like making deals as we speak. He's got championship rings on. I don't know what you're doing, dude, but I want your life, man. You're crushing it.
So are you in the process?
I cannot get comfortable in this fucking chair. This is just like one of the worst things. This should be like in a museum, is like the prototype. This is what... This was the awful level of comfort. We went from a log to this, and then eventually they got cushions. It's another guy looking at his phone. I swear to God. Dude, the day Jesus comes back, if he ever does, if he's even a real person, like 90% of people are going to miss it. They're going to walk right. He's going to be walking on water, and they're immediately walking by him. They're not even going to see it. Oh, yeah, and there's a drop-off in fame for Jesus at that point. Everyone was paying attention. Now no one gives a shit. Oh, there we go. No, but now this is like the ego one. Now I'm going to be sitting above you.
Yeah,
you got to come with two. It's fine. It's fine. Sir, the one comedy through line that's working here is me shitting on this chair. Why would you take that from me? You're just totally going against the grain. I understand it. But you got on camera, so I think you get paid, even though this is online.
You see, Sugar Shea Mosley, one of the greatest boxers of all time, he's losing his championship belt in a divorce. Losing, yeah. It's like you're trying to break a man. Why does she want those? Right?
Gonna break a man.
They go with their shoes. You know? No, and I love how when you get a divorce, all of a sudden it costs like 50 grand a month to give a kid Fruit Loops. Right? These guys, I'm telling you, there is an epidemic of gold-digging whores in this country, and it is just not being addressed.
We recently got a pit bull, which I know a lot of people don't like because they ate a couple of kids. I understand. They're great dogs, unless you're a bad owner. If you're a psycho, which I am, you can mess them up. I didn't realize that dogs feed off your vibes. No. Like if you're cool, if you're chill, they're chilling. If you're sleeping, they're sleeping. But if you're a psycho like me, and you're watching the game on TV and you're screaming at the ref like, you gotta be shitting me! I didn't realize the dog was in the corner being like, yeah, you gotta be shitting me.
Being a mother is the hardest job out there.
Most difficult job, and Oprah said that.
Oprah said that, yeah. Has your opinion on that phrase changed at all since you've had a kid?
No. It's not the most difficult job on the planet. It just isn't. Dude, I did roofing in July. As a redhead, I almost died. There's people that work on like oil. What was that movie that guy made? The oil, the fucking, they drill oil. What is it?
There Will Be Blood?
There Will Be Blood. Out in the ocean, they would drill. I can never remember the names.
Deepwater.
Mark Wahlberg was
Deepwater Horizon, yeah.
Those guys were working on an oil rig. The fucking thing blows up. They're on fire. They got to jump into water that's on fire. Salty water into their wounds. You got to swim out of that oil and fire and then tread water, praying to God that the Coast Guard is going to get there before the sharks do. Now talk to me about a toddler. Oh, he was so fussy today. He wouldn't eat his peas.
So what's up with all these white kids now walking around trying to act like they're like gangster rappers? It's irritating. It's like everywhere I go, man, I figure I'd just be here in the city. We got a good mix of people. I'll be like in the middle of Kansas, though. Like the whitest state ever. There'll be some howdy-doody looking white kid like me. I'm thinking this is one of my peeps. Somebody I can have a conversation with. All of a sudden, he's just like, yo, what's up, kid?
What's up, kid? I just want to be like, nothing much, Brad. You know, you keeping it real in Wichita? How the fuck are you going to be a gangster in a state, say, like Nebraska? You know, wouldn't you be like all hardcore about your crop? Just in there, yo, shit was crazy, you know what I'm saying? My fucking corn wasn't growing, my fucking scarecrow was tipping over and shit, you know what I'm saying, son? I just want to be like, dude, you're white. Go to the Gap, give into it. Buy some Dockers, and come home. I've been going to gun stores, and
Oh my God!
and these rednecks are all telling me the same thing because I didn't grow up with guns. So they're just going, all right, you never had a gun, you want to get yourself a shotgun. It's got a great spread. That's what they keep saying. It's got a great spread. You don't even got to aim it. You got a problem, you just sort of whip around. You get the guy, right? I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, I just want to shoot the guy. I don't have to do like a bunch of drywall work and like reframe my diploma. So.
Again. Why can't Mom make dinner?
Ask her. She's the one who abandoned her post. Now after doing all the lady work, I gotta leave to go do some man work. And is anybody gonna get me flowers and tell me I'm beautiful? No. No one's out there marching for old Frank Murphy. He just watches the sands of his miserable life gather at his feet while his wife, the modern woman, throws on a pantsuit every morning and just... There's my worker bee.
What is your go-to dance move when challenged?
Waiting for the director to say cut. That was my go-to dance move. Well, I'll tell you, when I saw my kid, it wasn't, I didn't have like, everybody was like, you're gonna burst out crying, you're gonna blah, blah, blah. I was like scared of it. Like I was just sitting there like, hey, yeah, buddy, like I didn't want to touch it. And then like afterwards, they give it to me and I'm hanging with her for the first time and I'm feeling nothing. And I literally put my head down on the bassinet. I'm going, oh my God, I'm a serial killer. Like I don't feel things.
Fool yourself because I was like Googling the show.
No, God knows.
I was Googling the show.
I get trashed enough on Twitter. Do you know when I did the show last night? This is how like the millennials are, right? Somebody, I was wearing this exact same thing. You know, I'm on the road, so I got a nice stain on my shirt. So I was wearing this exact same thing. I go on Twitter, and somebody wrote, you know, Bill Burr last night dressed like an out-of-shape Jerry Seinfeld.
What?
So like, yeah, I wrote back. I can't say what I wrote back. I wrote back.
You did?
So and so. Yeah, it's like, why don't you heckle me when you're there?